there we go, my friends. This is it. This is the final shift ever I will be doing on Uber. And what we're going to do, we're going to go right back to the exact spot where I got my first ever job. And when we get there, and when I log on, I'll tell you how much my first ever job was. I'll also tell you how much my car rental was back in the late 90s and how much I paid for my radio set. To have the set in the car, the radio rental, how much that was. You'll be amazed. Let's go to 11. This, my friends, is the very first stand I got work from. This is the BAT stand off Vauxhall Road, and this is where you'd wait for your jobs. These hoardings weren't here then, this was just wasteland. But just here and across here, all down this, with a door lined up back to back, and this is where we'd wait for our jobs. And back then, data heads hadn't been invented. We were all on the radio, and this is a sound you'd hear all the time.
Manchester the airport or 62 the rocket. Manchester the airport or 62 the rocket.
That's what you'd hear all the time. You drove with that sound behind you all the time.
It is okay. Manchester airport.
Well, with your hands.
Mrs. Davis coming in at 2 o'clock. 5-1.
All the time, constantly, the chatter off the radio in the background.
Right.
And you'd listen for your number all the time too.
7-1.
That's how it was. You were blown in all the time.
3-0.
You were always listening. That's my number. I was 3-0.
Yeah.
And you'd wait. Oh, you carry on working because you didn't know where the jobs were because there was no data heads. There was no GPS.
Right.
Purely on the radio.
On a booking there, mate. You're sitting on a booking, but it's a long distance one. Can you do it?
Well, that happens sometimes too.
I'm not going to tell you where it's going yet until you tell me you can do it or not.
And the big problem was.
Can you do it?
The big problem was then that everybody paid in cash, except if you're doing account work, and account work was the one you didn't really want.
Right. Is your car in full working order? You got no ball tyres?
That was the thing, ball tyres.
Juice.
Enough juice.
On account.
Oh no!
Yeah, this is an account job. Yeah, on account. Yeah. Do you still want?
That's what you didn't want. You didn't want the account work. Now, from this stand here was the BAT stand in Vauxhall Road. Most jobs here went to the city centre, which is just like over there. And they were £2. So the average job from this stand was always £2. So you go £2, back here again, get another £2. Vauxhall Road to, it was always Whitechapel. It was always the post office Whitechapel that everybody seems to go to. £2, but you do them £2 really, really quickly as well. You'd use on average a fiver, between £5 and £10 a day for diesel is what you would use. Now, check this out. My radio rent back in the late 90s was £35 a week was my radio rent. My car rent, because I first went on the job, I hired a car, rented a car. I know, what was it? An Austin Maestro I had. An Austin, who remembers them? Austin Maestros. Then I moved on to a Ford Sierra, and the Sierras were great. But they used to cost me, my car was £100 a week. So £135 a week would cost me to work. On average, between £5 and £10 a day for diesel you'd use, and the work was virtually constant. Airport jobs, £18 airport jobs. Your average job between £5 and £6. You would do really, really well because you were constantly busy. Where now, and of course, as I've said previously in this week in these videos, that getting a badge wasn't easy. Back in the day, getting a badge wasn't easy because we had no mobile phones, we had no sat navs. The A to Z was your Bible, but you had to learn and remember routes, and all the drivers then I've had fantastic knowledge of the working area that they were working in. A fantastic knowledge. That's all gone, and getting badges now is easy, and that is what's killed the job. Badges getting given now so easily. No real knowledge test. All you need now is a vehicle license check, your DBS check, and a medical. No, and I think it's an MVQ and VRQ course. That's just customer service, of course. They're easy, but no knowledge test at all. No in-depth knowledge of your area. Now the sat nav's great because that does it for you now, but sometimes the sat navs don't always take you the best way. Back in the day, I knew every single shortcut. If a road was closed, you know, you get around it really quick as well. Any RTAs on the road, you get around it really quick. Now we're all reliant on sat nav, which is sad, really. A to Z, every cab you got into, every private hire you got into, down the side of the door, there was always an array of A to Zs, because that's what we did. We all used A to Zs. The job back then, better, more camaraderie with the drivers. You'd all look after each other back then. All the drivers would all look after each other. We'd let each other out on the roads, and what we'd do, what never happens now, we'd all let onto each other. More like that. We'd all let onto each other in the course of our working day, and we all knew each other too. Like, I worked for a company called Derby, was my very first company, Derby Cabs, based up in Bootle, and we knew everyone. I knew all the drivers by name. We'd all be on the radio together, bantering away. That's how the job was. Now, you sit in the car in silence. Uber is just a number now, and it's completely different. And sadly, the job's got safer. The job's got safer. But the money now, especially on Uber, is chronic. Right, let's see how much we do on this final shift. It's Sunday, my last time ever sitting in this car and driving on this app. So the last shift ever, and we are working my local licensed area. Yes, my friends, I am in Sefton, and I will remain in Sefton for the rest of the shift. If I can, but you never know with Uber, it could be taken away somewhere else, but if I can, I'll remain in Sefton, currently in Southport, and heading to a job, coming in for Amber on a 4.94 rating. It's a £5 job, not going very far, picking up in Bath Street North, if you know it. So I've already done 3 jobs. I've done a sales job as well in Crossings in Southport, £12 odd, and I did another job before that, £8 odd, again in Southport. So staying in Southport today. Southport is the order of the day. It's currently 3:05 in the afternoon. It's a bit wet and dank, but my final shift, will I get a dream job to end the shift? My friends, keep tuned to find out. So we're now on our way to our next job in Southport, so not doing too bad so far, I would say. So we're now off to our next job. It's picking up Sarah, coming in on a 4.85 rating. It's from Ainsdale Station, and she's running through to Formby. So that's our next job. The rain's falling down. It's the last day of my working life as a Uber stroke private hire driver. Yes, I'm not a taxi driver because I don't do public hire. I am only private hire. I bow down to the taxi drivers, to the knowledge boys, because they are the real drivers. Okay, just dropped in Formby, and now what? Got one in Formby off to Chilwell down to L16. It's coming in for Alicia, coming in on a 4.83 rating. The job is worth £20. Now £20 from Formby to Chilwell is underpaid, because when we get to Chilwell, I'll give you the breakdown of how many miles we've done. But what I will guarantee that it is underpaid, because Uber now running at rock bottom prices all the time. Not sure what the riders paid for this, but I'm getting 20 quid. Now, when I worked locally in Formby, for the local cab company in Formby, which is Phoenix, or Phoenix Village as it now is, when I worked here, this job would have been about £35. So £20 doing it on Uber, local base would have been about 35. So that's the difference, my friends. That's why Uber have gone crap. And if you're looking to join Uber and you think Uber's really good, well, you haven't been here during the really good times. As the rain starts to fall in Chilwell, okay, that job, 31 minutes and 20 seconds, 21.3 miles we did for £20.44. That is scandalous, isn't it? Bloody hell, not even a pound a mile. 21.73 miles. Park Road to Rosebank Road, Chilwell. 31 minutes and 20 seconds. 21.73 miles. £20.44. My friends, that is why Uber is now no longer a viable option to work on the platform, because that is pretty awful, innit? That is absolutely crap. So it's just gone 6 o'clock and we are moving and grooving. We're moving and grooving. Let's have a look at what we're doing so far today. We are on 88.99 so far on the last day ever doing this game. The last day ever in this particular job, because we are getting out of it, man. We're getting out of it. So yeah, so far it's moved okay, quite steadily, and now in Liverpool 11 is where we are right this minute. So how will we get on from Liverpool 11? Will we be moving out or staying in this area? The rain's coming down still. Sunday night used to be the best day of the week. I used to go through Sunday nights right the way through till Monday morning, and it was always brilliant. But now in 2024, 2025 even, we are seeing more and more Ubers than ever before. So not quite as good. So 88 odd pounds, you know, it's all right, I suppose. It's not wonderful, but then again, it's not bad. But we've got a couple of hours still to run, so hopefully we should hit the ton. I would like to do 150 on my final shift, but who knows? Well, my friends, just keep tuned. Just got the famous words then, I'll tip you on the app. Yeah, I bet you will. We're in Liverpool city centre, just dropped off at the Hampton by Hilton, just off the Wapping, isn't it? Is it just off Wapping? Is it just off the Dock Road? Is it? And just before the Baltic Triangle. That's where we are, my friends. That's where we are. Now it's 7:22. So, as you know, I don't work city centres. On my last day ever, will I work a city centre? Well, no, I won't work the city centre, because it's a pain in the bloody arse. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move out now, down to the tunnel, and sort of head my way home. Just a little bit more to do, so then I'll end my shift on the Wirral stroke Chester stroke Ellesmere Port. Next clip, the Tube. Here we go, into the Tube. This is the Wallasey Tube, or locally known as the New Tunnel. Into it now, onto the Wirral we go, and see what the Wirral brings us on Sunday, my final ever shift. And you know what, my friends, this job, I am not gonna miss it in the slightest. Well, that's it, my friends, we are done. The end of the line has arrived. 27 years from sitting on the BAT and taking my first £2 job into Whitechapel. I now finish on the Wirral, and it's done. And the week, my final week, it should be on the screen for you now. We've done £760, 760.81, 27 hours driving and 9 minutes. 27 hours and 9 minutes driving. We've done 64 rides. And 760.81 is what we have done on my final week. I've got to say, for about a year now, maybe more than that, I've been just having less and less motivation to do the job. That's why I could have done 12-hour shifts all the way through. I didn't, because I've lost all the will and all the drive and all the determination in this job. That is why, my friends, that's one of the reasons why, my friends, I am leaving the job. I am walking away from it, because that's the right thing to do now. I do feel that is the right thing to do. I've had a good time on it over the years. It's been good. I've had good times, bad times, like everything in life, good and bad. But I know, you know yourself in your heart of hearts when the end has come, when it's the end of the line. And this, my friends, 100% for me is the end of the line as a private hire Uber driver in 2025. Started 1998 and finished in 2025. That's a long run, isn't it? That's plenty of time to do the job. So I know it all. But if you're coming into the trade now brand new, good luck, really. Good luck. It may be good going forward. I can't see it though. What will happen though, and what will happen, and people say, no, it won't. But autonomous cars, self-driving cars, they are going to be the future. You watch on the Uber app, you watch in about 5 years' time, maybe more than that. Well, about 5-10 years' time, on the app, there'll be the option for autonomous driving. To get a cab with no one driving it, that's going to be the option. It's coming. We'll say, no, it can't happen in the UK. It is coming, I'll tell you. There's a lot of investment in it, and self-driving cars will be the future in this country. But that's this video done. The final video for me on the shift videos, but Lee is taking the shift videos on. So shift videos coming up from Lee, and he works across all the Liverpool areas. He works across the Wirral. He works across Manchester too, and everywhere else. So catch him on his shift videos. I'll still be on the channel too, doing a bit of commentary, and also what's ahead for me. Well, let's wait and see.